Let's take a trip back into the retro review past. Yeah, 3 years ago when I started making these videos, I had no idea what I was doing. I thought this was going to be a thing where I reviewed the VHS trailer reels of certain movies, but eventually things expanded into me reviewing the movies themselves, then video games, then TV, and if you're confused already, then I don't blame you one bit. Yes, things got out of hand because I like reviewing a bit of everything, and in the early days that led to a fair amount of mistakes with my original movie reviews. There were things I didn't get right or just missed entirely, and people were right to point that out by posting venomous comments and spearing me with burning pitchforks. For instance, the Pokemon movies. Why can't I review them? Well, here's a case where it's not so much my fault as it is YouTube's fault. I looked back on the trailer reels for all 4 Pokemon movies released on VHS in the UK, and there was some fascinating stuff in there. Lots of cool trailers, ads, and the never-ending marketing campaign for every Pokemon game released at the time. But despite my desire to review the actual movies, I can't, because for some reason, they're crazy about clips of the movies on YouTube. If I tried to review them, this channel would be sitting at the bottom of a gorge somewhere, like it isn't already. Even just showing the trailer is probably too much. So yeah, my big mistake here is not reviewing these movies, but only because YouTube sucks. Still, you never know, perhaps there'll be a Patreon exclusive someday. Then there's the Tom and Jerry movie. Okay, generally I was pretty happy with this review, because I did talk about the movie a lot, and the VHS tape, and all the lovely gubbins that went along with that, but the one thing I didn't do is say what I thought about the movie at the end. What a moron. I mean, I said it was bad, but it made me laugh at the same time. I just didn't elaborate on why I thought that. Well, here's my real thoughts. I think we can all agree this movie isn't good, but it's so beyond insanity, so beyond any form of rational thought, so beyond making sense. I actually like it anyway. It's just so crazy. Like, you have Tom and Jerry talking, but then all these bonkers bad guys that just steal the show. Lickboot, Dr. Applecheeks, Captain Kiddie, names that no sane man would ever write. Like, who are these guys? What's their backstory? They're all out of their minds. And don't even get me started on the crazy chase at the end, which is less like a Tom and Jerry movie and more like an episode of Jackass. But yeah, it's so weird and twisted, it entertains me to no end. It's like a non-stop laugh fest if you get a kick out of bad movies like this. So, the Tom and Jerry movie, it's bad, but I kind of like it. Still, I'm sure there are much better Tom and Jerry movies out there, like they made a live-action one a few years ago in 2021, so I say it's worth a quick look.
Can I kick it to all the people who can quest like a tribe does? Before this, did you really know what I was?
And you instantly made this movie 10 times worse than the original. But let's be fair, that's just one movie. They've made plenty of movies that are fully animated, like this one based on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, I love Willy Wonka, and I love Tom and Jerry. This is exactly the kind of thing I could imagine myself renting from Blockbuster as a 6-year-old baby boy, so I think it's worth a chance.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing. Any signs that they are slowing?
Oh my god, the original movie is a masterpiece! Yeah, how come this one gets all the hate? At least it's so bad it's funny. These other movies are just painful. More painful than a trap in Tom and Jerry. And then there was my first ever movie review, Osmosis Jones. Just a few episodes in, I decided to actually talk about a movie in full, and like a complete pillock, I didn't say what I thought about the movie at the end. Nope, I just went straight into talking about the spin-off show Ozzy and Drix, without even summarizing my feelings on this one. What was wrong with me? Because there's a surprising amount to say about Osmosis Jones, namely that I like it, and sometimes I don't like it. Then I like it, and I don't like it. You see a pattern here? The problem is that the animation portion of the movie is really fun and creative, while the rest is just gross-out gags with Bill Murray, and as funny as he is, I think he was just using this movie as an excuse to eat a lot. This is the type of person I avoid by sitting on the other side of the restaurant. But on the more positive side, the animated portion is thoroughly entertaining. Someone should just make an edit of these scenes without any of the live-action stuff. It might still work as a movie for all I know. And one thing I especially like is how dark it is. Like, Thrax isn't afraid to be a menacing villain, and this is exactly the type of disgusting body horror that I can get behind. Like, just look at this in slow motion, it's deliciously disturbing. See, that's the thing, they don't make PG animated movies like this anymore. Back in the day, you could get away with a slightly darker animated movie, but now it's all boring, 5 times as boring. These days, you have to kiss and make up with the bad guy, rather than letting him disintegrate into nothingness. Yeah, that's still cool. But at the end of the day, there's still one glaring error that I have to fix. Digimon the movie. On the whole, I thought this was a decent review. I talked about Digimon's impact in the UK, all the ads on VHS tape, even that bizarre D'Angela Anaconda short. But there's one teeny tiny thing that I forgot to do in this video. I didn't review the movie! Yeah, I just ended it right after talking about the intro. Shame on me. But to be fair, I was still stuck in trailer reel review mode. Now, I want to rectify that mistake, and for the benefit of Digimon fans everywhere, let's take an honest look at the film itself. I already said that this was actually 3 short films in one, which is already less than the Pokemon movies gave you, which included a full movie and a Pikachu short. Okay, full disclosure, I've always wanted to watch this movie. It just never happened when I was a kid. I had this Power Rangers VHS that had a trailer for the Digimon movie, and it made it look like some kind of amazing race against time to save the world.
5, 4,
They're multiplying!
3, 2, 1.
Digimon, the movie.
But is that what we get? Well, not really. Like I said before, it starts with a Digirap, and I think we've already established that it's not a good idea to begin your movie with rap.
The Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know what's coming? A Digi Destiny starts today.
So we begin in the far past with our hero Tai, and when Windows 98 malfunctions, he ends up getting a Digimon egg that hatches into an adorable Snugglewuggle.
I'm a Digimon, short for digital monster. I'm from the digital world.
It's the usual try to keep a new pet away from your parents type thing, only with poorly inserted toilet humor.
It can't get any worse. It just got worse.
However, there's also fantastically inserted early 2000s music. You always get a point for Fatboy Slim, but the egg digivolves into this big dinosaur thing, followed by other Digimon showing up to help, and it all goes a bit Godzilla. There's an incredible fight, the day gets saved, and what do we learn from this misadventure? Absolutely nothing. Story 2. Tai has now upgraded his PC to Windows 2000 to prevent this from happening again. But unfortunately for him, this is a universe where the Millennium Bug actually happened, and is actively trying to destroy the world.
He's at the telephone company taking over all the phone lines. If we lose our phone connection, we're finished. That's the only way we have access to the internet.
You know, looking at all this PC stuff makes me ridiculously nostalgic. Reminds me of all the LAN parties I never had. What are you, crazy or something? That stuff was expensive back then.
If this thing is so dangerous, maybe we should call someone important like the principal or Bill Gates or
They
someone.
won't listen.
So yes, it's certainly charming, but is kids playing with their computers really what you want from a big screen Digimon adventure? I don't think so. What I do want, however, is music by the Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, that's the name.
1 week since you looked at me. Cock your head to the side and said I'm angry.
The thing about this movie is that if you're not a Digimon fan, it's just plain confusing. These Digimon arrive on the PC to help Tai squash the bug, but who are these characters? How do they know the kids? Where's the context? I'm confused and frightened.
We'll help you guys because you are the best friends we've ever had.
Even worse, in between there's this romance thing between Tai and this girl Sora.
Dear Sora, I'm sorry about what happened. Love, Tai. Love? I mean.
Oh, come on. We all know they get together at the end of like season 3 or something. Get over it, man. That's everyone's reaction to this video. The Digimon tried to fight the bug in some pretty cool fights, and you can see why most of the trailer clips came from this story. It's easily the most entertaining one of the movie. The virus is too strong for the Digimon, but Tai saves the day by going into the computer, somehow, and destroys the bug.
Connection terminated.
That's some Digi-Ex Machina right there. Story 3, bit of a road trip here. There's a big Digimonster on the loose, and these kids are looking for it, including Davis, who looks a lot like Tai, but isn't Tai, but why isn't he Tai? I don't know. There's also this kid called Willis, who grew up having 2 Digimon as a kid, but one ended up getting stolen by the evil virus from the previous story, and gets corrupted into an evil monster.
And now he's obsessed with chasing me.
Is that their tenuous way of trying to connect this story with the other ones? If so, it's pretty lame.
That's the saddest story I ever heard.
Of course, the big monster digivolves into an even bigger monster, and everyone has to take part in a massive fight to stop it, including Gargamon, a giant rabbit with Gatling guns. Now that is the coolest thing ever.
Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen or what?
It's one spectacular climax, but eventually they save the day, yuck it up, and celebrate with some classic Smash Mouth.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
This movie is the soundtrack to my life. Oh, and then there's a cover of We're the Kids in America. Even though most of the movie is set in Japan. Oopsies. So that was Digimon the movie, and I have just one word. Lazy. You can just tell Fox Kids rushed this one out to make a quick buck, because it's not even a real movie. It's just 3 unrelated shorts poorly stitched together into one giant blanket of blandness. The second story is probably the most interesting, but it's not the most exciting thing I've ever seen either. These stories simply don't link together well, and unless you have a PhD in Digimon, you're not going to understand anything. Actually, I'm not sure if this movie even adds anything for Digimon fans. Like, is there some character revelation we learned that changes the whole nature of the franchise? Did the lore expand in new and fascinating ways? Not really. It all feels bland and unnecessary. It's basically just Digimon's version of Treehouse of Horror, because all of these stories are horrific. It's a shame we never got a proper full-length Digimon movie from this time, which, let's be honest here, is what the fans truly deserved. But clearly Fox Kids didn't want to stump up their money for that. Instead, they wasted their budget on their shiny new logo. And is it just me? Or were they always trying to make Fox Kids look like some kind of godly monolith? It's just disturbing. But on the bright side, the animation is gorgeous, the few fights provide some decent action, and the absolute best thing about the whole movie is the soundtrack. It's pure early 2000s delight. Like finding an old Tony Hawk soundtrack I never knew existed. I'll probably even go and buy the soundtrack on CD because it's just that good. And weirdly, worth way more of your time than watching the movie itself. Still, I'm glad I finally got to talk about it. But what did you think about this one? Did you love the Digimon movie as a kid? Or did you end up seeing it at an older age? Let me know in the comments, and join me next time for a video with even more mistakes than this one. But for now, I'm heading back into the digital world. Digivolve.
Digimon!